Being awarded with the Test cap is a monumental moment for any international cricketer. It symbolizes that they have made it to the league of big boys and that their sweat and toil have finally helped them make it. Such is the enormity of being awarded with the Test cap that former Australian pacer Brett Lee once said that there are greater odds of winning the Australian lottery than donning an Australian Test cap, also known as the baggy green. It is thus not surprising to find Test caps of former international cricketers bagging exorbitant amounts during auction rounds. Shane Warne's Test cap was auctioned off for $1 million, even though Warne played for a major part of his career with a hat rather than a cap. Many more ludicrous stories surround Test caps, and quite a few related to stealing and burglaries of Test caps. One instance relates to the former Australian captain Ricky Ponting. In the later half of his career, Ponting was often seen wearing a rugged, worn-out, baggy green. The holes, the tears, and the beer marks on the cap are worn proudly by a Test cricketer, similar to battle marks by a warrior. Ponting's Test cap reflected his seniority and his venerable status within the Australian camp. But very few know that the baggy green, worn by Ponting for the most part of his career, was a duplicate of the original baggy green received by him during his debut match. Ponting lost his original Test cap in Sri Lanka approximately 4 years after he had received it. The tale of former New Zealand all-rounder Chris Harris is even more bizarre. Harris lost his Test cap after it was burgled away from his house in 2006. But Harris reunited to his Test cap approximately 10 years later after he was alerted of the cap being traded in an auction. A similar tale also transpired for the former South African skipper Graeme Smith. In 2010, Smith lost his Test cap that he had worn for approximately 90 Test matches since making his debut in Cape Town. Unlike Harris, Graeme Smith was lucky enough to have his stolen Test cap returned to him within a few days. However, it is not public knowledge where the cap was found or who returned it back. Not all cricketers have been lucky enough to have been reunited with their stolen debut Test caps. Unluckiest of all, perhaps, has been former India skipper Rahul Dravid. Playing your 100th Test match is usually a proud, happy, and a ceremonious occasion. However, for Dravid, it turned out to be a nightmare as he lost his Test cap while playing his 100th Test match in Mumbai versus the Englishmen in 2006. Maybe Dravid, like Chris Harris, one day will be lucky enough to find back his Test cap years after it was stolen. With Test caps being such prized possessions for cricketers, it is hard to imagine anyone just tossing away the Test cap. Well, this is exactly what Pakistani Test cricketer Yasir Shah did in a Test match in 2020 against the Kiwis. The leg spinner gifted his Test cap to one of the spectators on the ground, who was left stunned and surprised after the event. While Yasir's actions received a mixed reaction from the crowd, but one thing is for sure: Yasir Shah cannot claim his Test cap as being stolen.